show where I interview your teachers, or in this case, your IT staff, and ask them the questions that you want to know. As I said, I am joined today by 3 people instead of just the normal one, so 3 times the pain. We have Bentley, we have Kairos, and we have Jermey of the IT team. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Doing good.
How you feeling?
Yep. That's what parents should be.
Not as prepared as should be. How do you guys do with your spice? Do we like spicy food or not like spicy food?
I absolutely adore spicy food. The issue is I cannot handle it, so we're going to see how this goes.
So that'll be fun. Jeremy?
I've had some experience with spice, not too much though.
Okay. So the way it'll work is I'll just ask some questions. This is my thickest stack of note cards that I have ever had. I got so many questions, it's crazy. So, without further ado, let's get started with the sauces. Our first sauce is I Don't Want to Be a Pirate, made with a lot of limes, and I thought it reminded me of pirates because they don't want scurvy, because it's limey. It's our first sauce. Just sauce as you would like, and we'll get started. All right. Cheers. Cheers. So our first question is personal grooming questions. So question number 1's for Bentley. Why the beard, dude?
So that's, yeah. I used to have my hair long. I grew it out long during senior year. I haven't cut it short for a while. And then I went and worked at Lowe's for a while, and I was just like, I might as well.
Which Lowe's?
Lowe's just up in North Ogden, Harrisville area.
I am there constantly. I don't know how I never bought things from you.
Night shift.
Oh, okay.
So.
That would be why.
But I was like, I'll grow it out, see how it looks, because no one really ever sees me because I'm night shift.
Okay.
And I've just kept it since. So
Nice and warm. Mm-hmm. Jeremy, same question, but the mustache.
Mustache, so I'm a member of the National Guard. I'm not allowed to grow the beard.
You can grow the mustache, though.
But I can grow the mustache, and so I'll grow my beard throughout the month, and then when it's time for drill, I'll shave my beard.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you were part of the National Guard. How long have you done that?
I'm almost coming up on 13 years.
Whoa! Wow. So, right out of high school. Is that when you went into it?
Let me redo the math. Yeah, right out of high school. So there's a split option program.
Yeah.
And so I went to basic between my junior and senior year. Came back, did my senior year of high school, and then I went to my job training right after high school.
Wow.
And I originally joined as a cook. I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore.
What do you do now?
I'm an aircraft mechanic.
Oh. Are you do you go up to Hill and work on stuff there, or?
I have before, not necessarily because I work at Hill. I usually work at the West Jordan Airport.
Okay.
And there's an army right off of there that my unit's based out of.
I didn't know that. I have an uncle who's an airplane mechanic up at Hill Air Force Base. And he has described working. He gets into the fuselages of F-16s apparently all of the time, and it sounds horrible. He's in all of these weird positions. There's gases that are going to melt his eyeballs.
Yeah, I just did electrical work. Most of my stuff was fairly easy to get to because I worked on one aircraft, which is the Apache.
Yeah.
And all the electrical stuff's on the outside for the most part. We have one area that is called the tail boom, and that's the one area I hate working in.
What? Tell me about the tail boom. I'm very interested right now.
So the tail boom, it goes from the main body of the aircraft, and it connects the tail rotor. And so it's just this long stretch where we have all the wires for all the sensors going down there. And that's why I don't like going down there. It's just because it's just a confined space. There's no good way to get in, and there's definitely no good way to get out.
In my mind, I have you your feet dangling out, going like that, trying to figure out how to get out of this thing.
You should see the bigger guys getting out of it. It's even worse. Because the Army is very good about hey, if it's a job to be done, everyone's doing it. It doesn't matter if you're the smallest person or the biggest person.
Yeah.
And so.
Guy about 6'7", getting in there trying to do things.
Yeah. So you'll hear people shorter, smaller statured people complaining about ruck marches because they have to carry all this weight. And then you have all these big people that are complaining about fitting into all these tight little spots that they have to get into for maintenance.
I mean, I guess hopefully it evens out. Or maybe if you're middle size, 5'10", it's normal average size. It's not so bad.
I'm 5'8", and I get in and out just fine.
Nice.
But
I'm 6'2". I think I'd have a hard time.
You would have a hard time.
Kairos, your question is about the ponytail. Why do you always have a ponytail?
I I went through so many different hairstyles in high school. I'm not
Yes,
sure
you
if you're,
did.
if you
I
remember.
remember
but
some of them.
I had a mullet.
I remember the mullet. I remember the mullet vividly.
Yeah, I had that for so long, and I was always trying to find like a hairstyle that worked for me, and I just never felt like anything really worked for me. But then I just tried the ponytail, and I was told by a lot of people that they thought it looked really nice on me, so that's what I stuck with. And I'm planning to stylize it more in the future, but I just need to get my hair a little bit longer.
I prefer it over the mullet.
I think we should bring it
I
back,
think if you
actually.
have a mullet, you are like legally obligated to play hockey. Otherwise, it's hard to pull. Or you are like a country music musician, but hockey is the best. DaVinci, if you want to become a hockey player, you must have a mullet. This is the rule. It's in the NFL handbook. You can go read it. I swear it's there. Anyway, hockey. All right, let's move on to our next sauce. This is a Berserkers. It is a berry-based sauce, kind of tart. I got this one, I think, at Smith and Edwards. I've gone through a lot of that sauce. It's one of my favorites. All right.
I can't wait for one of our hot sauces just dip in our.
Oh, and then your milk's nice and spicy.
Oh, that's pretty good.
They're doing the musical downstairs. So, eventually, if you hear some music in the background, it's because they're practicing the musical. And we are directly above them. All right, for our next question. I got asked by 1, 2, 3, like 4, 5 people. Basically, what got you into IT and how long have you guys been involved in it? Bentley?
So I got into IT with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
His dad is a white hacker in his basement.
Define white hacker.
You hack for the government, or
Okay.
you hack for certain companies, or you basically are reverse hacking into a company, finding the weaknesses, and then letting them know and telling them how to fix it. But I got invited over to his house, and I would play a lot of video games down there. And he helped me build my first computer. And I've always been interested in technology kind of since then. When I was
Who is it? Would I know them?
No, you wouldn't know
Okay.
them. They're from another school.
Oh,
so.
okay.
But I went from there, and then in high school, I didn't really know necessarily where I was going with my career, and I still don't.
You're
But,
here right now,
yeah.
and maybe who knows where it goes.
I was like, I need to take something or go somewhere with my career, so I went into IT, and it just clinged on, and I liked it. So
Cool.
I had so many different jobs when I got out of high school, and nothing ever really felt like a good dream position, if that makes sense. It didn't feel like a career; it just felt like a place I was kind of sitting at.
Like, what did you do?
Well, I don't want to go down a huge extensive list, but I worked for Autoleave as a tugger, and then I switched to
hard.
forklifting, and then after that I switched to I got laid off, and then I got I went to Althea, the dog food plant.
Okay.
And then I got promoted to a night shift lead. Then after I left there, I got to a maintenance position, and I loved that job so much. After that, then I went to another maintenance job, but I didn't really like that one because of the environment and everything. But during that time, I realized just how much I loved working with technology, because like when you're working on maintenance, you're doing like all this like wiring, and you're learning about the machines and how they function, how they operate. And that's when it kind of clicked to me. I was just like, I asked him, like, do you guys have any open positions? Because, we talk a lot. We were basically really close friends ever since after high school. And we were...
I feel like there's a story there.
there's a story there.
Okay.
There's a big story there.
We might get to that story.
And then, so I built my own PC with him. My CPU fried itself when I was playing a game one day, and it devastated me because gaming is my entire life. And so me, him, and Ian, another former student here, all got together.
Ian
Last name starts with an H.
Hoff.
Hoff, yeah. I was like,
Ian Hoff.
Yeah.
We all got together one night, and I just spent all of my money that we got from the COVID taxes, and I just put all of it into my PC, and it's still there to this day. I probably need to replace it though.
Nah, it's good. It's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. Jeremy.
I don't know, I've just always been kind of interested.
Uh-huh.
When I was a kid, I kind of got into like admin stuff for like nefarious purposes. My dad would put like a block on like not downloading any games on my computer, so I'd be like, no, I'm the admin now. So
you had to.
I disabled his admin access, and then I BIOS locked that computer, so we couldn't even get into it anymore. And then I just always liked technology. I was like learning things from technology. I just recently finished my degree for that in May.
What's it specifically?
It's computer science. It's like general ed for IT.
Okay.
It goes over programming, networking, cybersecurity, but just in the very basic aspects.
Did you where did you do that through?
WGU.
Okay. Cool. I guess this one kind of comes in this. How did you guys? You kind of answered this a little bit. End up specifically back at your school that you went to here.
I'll start.
You guys went here.
Yeah, I'll start us off. So, I was working at Lowe's. I stopped working there because our lead position left. And I was like, hey, can I have that lead position? We're understaffed. There's only 3 of us on a night shift that's supposed to have like 6 or 7 people. And they didn't give me the lead position. I hadn't gotten a raise for a year. And I was like, okay, I'm not staying here for $14, $13 an hour. And so I was looking around for just something temporary because I do game development on the side. I was hoping that would be eventually a career, but I put career before like an actual riskier job.
Yeah.
So.
And right now.
Yeah. But I went and started doing recess monitoring here at the elementary for about half a year, and then Nick Cabezas, who was working here, was like, "Hey Bentley, I know you were in the IT. I have a position open," and I worked with him for maybe a week before suddenly I was online looking at DaVinci's positions, and I saw his position pop up, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, that one came up pretty suddenly.
Yeah, no, he didn't even tell me, and I saw it the day of that he popped it up, not even trying to be, like, is there a job, is there a job, is there a job? But I found it, and I was like, all right, I'm taking it, and I got that position, and Casey left, and I got that position. And then Kairos, when Casey left and Jermey came on board, and then we had another agent left, I was like, we need someone. I want someone that's going to stay a little bit longer, not here for 50 minutes and then leave. And so I was like, Kairos, let's get you in here.
Cool. Anything to
add? The only thing I can add is that I technically did forget about one job. I was at the IRS, and I was actually working a telephone marketing job for businesses. Yeah, it was horrible. Constant angry people. All the time.
It's I've done that job, and I just felt bad for the entire time.
Yeah, it was an awful job, and that is kind of when I kind of transitioned to like this job, because I was just like, I was looking for another position, but I couldn't go underneath my pay there, so I needed to find something that was gonna make the bills. And since I already had somewhat of IT knowledge, I was like, yeah, I could probably go into an entry level and then like grow my skills and then eventually
learn on the job. And cool. All right, let's move on to the next sauce. This sauce is Huacho Poblano. It is made out of poblano peppers and is my take on a hot sauce that's supposed to be kind of like mole. It's got chocolate and lots of different spices in it and is thick. It's a thick boy.
Kind of reminds me of like a chocolate pudding.
You would not want to eat that as a. I mean, you could. But I wouldn't. But yeah, now I can't not see the chocolate pudding. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm just enlightening everybody's mood by reminding them of a thing that we cannot have.
Cheers. Okay. So our next question has to do with AI. And you guys find yourself in this weird position of like, it's part of your job. It's a thing that you have, but it's kind of scary because it could also take some of your jobs. if it ever figures out how to program properly. That's kind of scary. So, do you think, assuming that AI could do this, that it should replace workers? And if that would be a good thing if that eventually happened? We got to a world where AI could do all the jobs for us and we didn't have to.
I think the issue isn't that the AI is going to take over our jobs. I think it's the issue is it's going to take over our jobs too fast, and it's going to displace too many people at once. If it was like a gradual thing, like, hey, like AI is getting good at programming, and we start phasing out these programmers, and it's like a slow, gradual process, and these programmers can be transformed into like network engineers or a specific other field. I feel like it wouldn't be too bad, but I don't feel like AI is really going to take over a whole lot of anything in the next little bit, because most of the models that we have now are just really good like pattern recognition programs.
Yeah.
Every bit of data that they get is just going to be on this bell curve, and so if you take all of like specifically the programming, you have bad programming, good programming, you got this bell curve, and it's going to take the mediocre programming every single time because it's the safe option.
And so we'll get a whole lot of, it's the most mediocre game that exists.
Phone apps.
Phone apps. We'll get a million phone apps.
Yeah.
And sitcoms. What's the most mid sitcom that exists?
Mid sitcom.
Like, or television show, like Bad Family Guy is what we would get. It's like just bad Family Guy episodes. Okay. What are your thoughts? We were talking about this one the other day.
What I think AI should do, like if you wanted to get down to the itty bitty gritty, it should take over jobs that people don't like. Like McDonald's, I feel like that should be a job that people aren't kind of resting on. Because I worked at Arctic Circle for a little bit, and then I worked at another fast food for like a few days. But I never liked that job. Nobody there liked that job.
No.
I don't know anyone who likes that job, and
No.
if you do like that job, you're the exception.
That job's hard. Like customer service, food prep. Be nice to people who are doing food prep. If you go to McDonald's, be nice to them. That job is harder than your job.
But be nice to help desk people on the phone. Their job is
hard. Their job is crazy hard.
Yeah. But I think jobs like that should be phased out because no one likes it. Let the AI do it. And there are ways to put plans in place to mitigate businesses taking advantage of that and making prices go up or down or however they go about it. So that's my opinion on it, is it should take over.
He welcomes his AI overlords.
I mean, I do too. I actually am a huge supporter of AI. I think it is a very useful tool that will come gradually in the future and like eventually just kind of revolutionize what we see as reality. And these guys basically already touched upon what I was going to say, but like realistically speaking, I think it would be a great idea if AI fully took over positions like call centers, and here's why. Because obviously nobody likes to speak to the AI and like go through that menu screen and like all that kind of stuff.
I can't understand them and they cannot understand me.
Yeah, and like when you ask for a representative, that takes like forever. But I kind of view it as almost like the best way I can describe it is like a website. So you know how you have like a lot of good websites that are like well formatted and you can find things that you need really easily, but sometimes you have the websites that are just really bad, you can't find anything on. I feel like that is the same thing with AI and call centers, is that eventually they're going to get to that point where they're going to become like that good website where you can actually properly navigate through them and not get frustrated at a bot basically command or told to do like a few commands and only listen for like a few select keywords. So
yeah, whatever AI is in my car, or I guess not AI, but if I have to talk to it, like call this person, like right now, I should just take the phone out and call because it's like, did you mean to call this person? No, I don't understand. Under the word no, okay, repeat, shut up, and then I just stop. So hopefully that gets better because that's the worst. And anytime I have to call my bank, like I'll just lose the money. It's not even worth it anymore.
Don't call Google.
No, don't call Google at all. That would be bad. All right, let's move on to our next sauce. This is my attempt to try and make a pina colada flavored hot sauce. I don't know how successful I was, but it's called Pina Colada. And it is made with pineapple and coconut and a lot of habaneros. Oh. Right? This is the part where I lead you to a false sense of security.
First few weren't too bad. Next few.
All right, this next question is particularly for Bentley. It's from Cajal, who I think is over there. Hi, Cajal. What is your favorite part of Game Development Club?
I would say favorite part of Game Development Club. Number one, they're all crazy in there. Some of them are crazy smart. Some of them are crazy creative. But I think
hopefully those combine sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. But I think my favorite part about it is just some of the crazy things that they're creating.
Like what are they making?
There's last year specifically, we were just making a basic platformer jump from one place to the other. Very simple. But I would walk around and you would see one person making their background absolutely just flash the players. They can't see anything. And then you walk to the other side of the room and there's one with stick figures that touch the ground just slightly wrong and the character starts spinning and drilling themselves into the ground because their game is slightly buggy. But
yeah.
I think there's
a zero in the wrong place.
Part is seeing where they make mistakes and what crazy shenanigans pop off from those mistakes.
I remember playing around in high school. I took some programming classes, and my teacher was not super great, but that did allow me the chance to, because he would sit at his desk and do nothing, and then I would just play around with the computers, and I got to experiment because of that, and I would make games, and it was weird because growing up, you're like, oh, how hard can this be? And you start doing this is like making a guy move from here to here and animating it in a way that doesn't look insane and actually works consistently. Took weeks. And then weird things would happen and you would have no idea why.
Yeah.
And it's like I make fun of we all make fun of Bethesda games and the weird jank that happens in that, but it's amazing they function at all. So
when's the next Skyrim release?
Never. I think Elder Scrolls Skyrim was like 11 years ago.
Well, they have like Skyrim on the fridge, Skyrim on the
Skyrim's gonna be like Doom when we were playing it on like potatoes. This one is more for all you guys. When you were in high school, what extracurriculars did you guys participate in? This one's from Mrs. Davis. She's really interested in when you guys were ninth graders, by the way. Like, there's lots of ninth grader questions from Mrs. Davis. What did you guys do in high school? Like extracurriculars.
So extracurricular as in like
after school things? School-related dillies?
Well, I mean, technically the only thing I realistically did, every time I had an open slot in like my classes, I would just put down PE.
Okay.
I was a really physical
That's not a
kid,
bad way to do.
And I always loved doing the pacer test. Do the pacer test.
You liked the pacer test?
I loved the pacer
Tell the
test.
children right now that you like the pacer test.
That's why.
Because none of the children like the pacer test.
I adore the pacer test, and I did it 3 times in one day at some point.
I like running. I wouldn't do that.
And that's the thing. I'm actually not one of the best inside of the vast majority of my class or like in my generation and like running.
Yeah.
And I didn't take track.
Yeah.
But I always just loved doing it, even though I could never reach 100.
But you liked it.
Exactly.
So remember that. Do the things you like. Jeremy, what'd you do? Way back when? Because you graduated 13 years ago?
2012.
2013
is when I graduated.
11 years ago. 11 years ago? That's right.
I was a band kid.
All right. You were a band kid. What do you play?
I played euphonium, but I played every single brass instrument I could get my hands on for whatever came up.
Mr. Davis, you have a person who understands brass. Talk to him.
And then my school had a junior RTC program, so I participated in that quite a bit.
A what? Oh, GR. Did you go to Ben?
No, I went to Clearfield High School.
I didn't know they had one up there.
Yeah, they had an Air Force junior RTC up there.
Huh. I thought the only one in the area that had one was Ben Lomond. Weird. Cool. I was the captain of the French club because there was a good ratio of girls to boys. There was me, and then everybody else was a girl. And this improved my chances of dating. So it worked a little bit, but that was my goal. Your goal was to run. My goal was to somehow get girls to talk to me, and I was not always successful. All right.
I was in robotics for a while.
You were in robotics.
Yeah.
Were you in robotics when So we've got the, what is it called? The one we have right now. Vex.
Vex.
Were you in it before we went over to the Vex system where we built things from scratch?
No, we were just doing Vex.
Oh, okay. That one was cool.
It was the year
you would have
before
liked that.
me, yeah, that they were
You
doing
would have liked that a
That's
lot.
actually what got me into robotics.
Yeah.
Is when we were in the elementary, up here on the 3rd floor.
Yeah. You were on the elementary on the 3rd floor?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But we went down to a robotics competition one time, and it was when they were building it with scrap, and one of them was using a milk carton to pick up pieces, and I was like, that's so cool, and that's what got me in the
I
robotics.
love that. Lacey Parrish got into that thing, and she became the captain of that. She, like, when she graduated from high school, she got an internship, I think, with ATK, and was making more money than I was. And it was largely because she was just really, really good at it. That kid, like, hands down one of the smartest kids I have ever met in my entire life. But the robotics program was where she was given a chance to shine. I love the robotics program. So
It was fun.
Yay, Mr. Bradshaw. All right, next wing. What are we on? Okay. We are on Auburn Agony. This is supposed to be a picture of my wife with the fermentation station where I make all of the hot sauces that she is not a fan of. This is made of apricots this one's apricots from my backyard. And then various peppers from also my backyard.
I think I remember having this one, and I think
This is
my
the
limit.
sequel. This is the sequel to that one. Very similar spice level. I tried to make it a little more cinnamony.
Okay.
Cheers. All right. This question is for all of you. And it's from Mrs. Davis. And she wants to know what advice would you go back in time machine. Travel back to 9th grade you. You're 14 years old. What advice would you give 14-year-old you? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Since they all looked at me.
Well, you're the leader.
The fearless leader.
I'd say if I was looking back at young me, I would say, jeez.
We got you in the throw. There we go. All right.
But I would say I would actually kind of tell myself how to actually learn. I will say back before 9th grade, I wasn't really learning the things I was being taught. I'm driven by mechanics a lot. Don't tell me 1 + 1 = 2. That's not going to help me. Teach me what the plus sign does, what the equal sign does. That's how I learn. That's what I would do, because I didn't learn that until Coverstone.
Yeah.
He kind of showed me how I learned, and yeah. Jeez.
Okay. Kairos.
Okay. So, for me, if I was to go back in time and tell myself anything, it would be how I personally learn, because I learned this when I was actually on a job site, and I kind of wish I learned this in high school because I would have been able to apply my skills better. But I work way better when I'm on one-on-one. When I'm on one-on-one and I'm actually learning, like, hands-on, I do a lot better. When I am in a classroom, I cannot focus. I don't know if I have, like, an undiagnosed ADHD kind of thing going on, but, like, I cannot sit down and just, like, focus on something for very long.
Yeah.
Unless if it's, like, interesting to me. So, like, if a teacher's, like, talking about something that I'm not too interested in, 9 times out of 10 my mind will just start to wander and I can't pay attention.
I remember that.
But but also I would have told myself not to take everything so emotionally, because I'm not sure if you knew this, but in high school I was one of the worst children to deal with, because my emotional state was just always up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And I would get very belligerent with, like, anybody who I even thought was trying to be rude to me. So
I remember that. I remember that too. Jeremy.
Probably to, like, sit down and, like, write down, like, outline goals for whatever project I'm working on. Because I have this thing where if I am working on something, like, I've been working on this program for, like, all of our clever syncs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I find myself getting into this recurring thing where I just rewrite a bunch of stuff to optimize it over and over again and never actually finish it.
You're one of those kids.
And so I will if I sit down and I write down a goal, if like, hey, I need to make this, make this, make this. And when all that's running, then I can go optimize the first part. Then I do a lot better.
Were you one of the kids in high school who would hand things in late, not because you weren't done, but because it wasn't right yet? Like I get that one a lot, where I have a kid and it's good, like just hand it in, dude. But it's not perfect yet. And they want it to be perfect, and they'll keep iterating on it until they get it perfect.
It depends on the subject. So, like my English, I would literally just jot down the very first thing I get on paper and then turn that in. When it came to like math, that's when I got a little more specific.
Probably better to be specific about math.
Anything that was like arts based, I felt like I would just redo over and over again. Like I took a music theory class in high school.
Oh, really?
And so like one of our things we had to do was like compose the small piece. It was like 16 measures we had to compose.
Oh, dude.
And it was the easiest thing in the world to sit there and compose 16 measures, unless you wanted it perfect, and then you would do the first 4 measures over and over and over and over again.
I do the same thing. I like writing music. None of it ever gets out because it's just for me. And I'll sit down with my guitar and stuff, and I'll play with it, and it will be fine, but it's not. And I'll sit there and just stress over this, a thing that nothing matters. It doesn't matter. It's just a dumb thing I'm trying to make. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to Dragon's Breath. This one is, I found a pepper called the Dragon's Breath pepper, and I was like, I have to make a sauce out of that. I have a show that has that. So my goal was to not only make you breathe fire, but also make you have very bad breath. So this is fermented garlic, honey, and all of the Dragon's Breath peppers that I could find. So it will, if you like garlic, good sauce. If you don't, I apologize, because it's very garlicky.
I'm not opposed to garlic.
I like garlic. I like garlic a little too much.
All right, cheers. All right. For this particular one, these are mostly for Kairos and Bentley because they are from your teachers from the past asking about things. I think I made a little picture up here, a collage, that's not the word, of you as children. There's Kairos with short hair, there's Kairos graduating, there's Bentley, I don't know what he's doing then, as a small magician.
That was an old picture.
I think those came out of your senior picture. All right. How do you guys feel about working at your old high school? Kairos is dying. This is awesome.
I guess I'll go first. Sorry. Okay. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to work here again, or to work here. And being back here doesn't feel like weird to me. It feels like I'm right back at home. Especially because I get to see a lot of the old teachers that once taught me. And I feel it's really nice to actually, in a way, give back to the people that helped me succeed in life, and teach them about little issues that fix little issues that they're having with tech-related stuff.
Don't touch your eyes.
Don't touch your eyes.
Don't touch your eyes.
Oh yeah, I haven't touched anything with my pinky, so.
Do your napkin.
Legitimately don't touch your eyes.
Okay.
I've made that mistake on all of these sauces. Don't do it.
But yeah, I love working here. This is my favorite job by far, and I hope to stay here for the end of my term. So
for a long time.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to make the joke. Look how far I've gone in life.
You did. You made it like you're in the cave now. So.
Yep. I like working here. Compared to the other jobs I've worked at, the community here is way better. Way better. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a weird question. Can you call your old teachers by their first name?
Nope.
Kevin.
That feels weird.
Wendy.
Can you call Mr. Gaji Paul? I can barely call Mr. Ganji Paul.
I could call a lot of teachers that I once knew by their first name, but it just feels so weird.
What about Mrs. Davis?
I don't even know her first name.
Her first name is Debbie.
Oh yeah.
It feels wrong.
It feels so wrong to call.
The only reason I can do it is I've known Mrs. Davis for 18 years or something at this point. And so I knew her as Debbie before I knew her as Mrs. Davis. But yeah, that's hard. All right. What's something about DaVinci you wish everybody in Ogden knew about our school? That's from Mrs. Davis.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What should everybody know about DaVinci?
I know something that I know a lot of students don't know here.
Okay. Should they know?
Probably
Okay.
should probably know it. The dragon, with the wooden dragon in the main hallway.
Yeah.
Not many students know where that actually came from. I believe it was the first seniors projects that went to this high school location. They built that.
A lot of the things that are out there, like the first senior class or the second senior class, the first 3 classes that we had, like that was here when I got here.
Yeah.
Which is an eternity ago. Kairos, anything that you think the people of DaVinci should know about, or DaVinci people in Ogden should know about DaVinci?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. The only thing I can really say is that I feel like our school is a lot better when it comes down to art, because I never knew just how much I loved ceramics until I actually took it, and Mr. Conlon was a great teacher. And
Go check out Conlon's stuff, by the way. He sells it at farmers markets.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
The next time a farmer's market comes around, I'm gonna buy like 4 things from him. I love his work.
Buy one. They're expensive, but they're worth it. Like they're good.
They're very. I personally I do feel like they're a little overpriced, but for his stuff, it's well worth it to me. But yeah, I feel like our art as a school is just so much far surpassed what other schools usually provide.
I love our program. I love that we have a student-driven art program largely. Like, hands up to Mr. Figuera back there doing this, because like everything is student-directed and I love it. Okay, what's the thing that's improved since you guys were students here? And you should probably say IT.
I'd say a big time IT.
No,
don't get us started on that one.
I don't have to. I've been here through all of it.
I would say one of the biggest things that's improved since we went to school, I'm not gonna lie, it's the film lab. When we went to school here, Figuera was down in the closet on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
And then we moved up here like the last year, I think we were.
Oh man, and this room is so much better than last year.
Yeah.
The film lab.
Something for me that I think has really far improved, and this goes for all students out there who are currently going to school here. I feel like the teachers are starting to focus way more on student mental health. And that is something that meant so much to me and when I was in Avid. And if you guys don't know, Avid was a program for
You're in my
students.
class.
Yeah, it was a program for students who needed that extra little push. Like you were trying really hard, but you just weren't able to, I guess, make it, if that makes sense. And it was trying to prepare you for college or to get you into a nice university to improve your life. Unfortunately, I never actually got into college or a university, but Avid was a big help because it was giving me basically that one-on-one time that I was talking about earlier of with me and a teacher, and then saying, hey, where are you struggling? How can I help you? Here's how you could probably do things a little bit better. Here's how to do better organization. Because that's that's what that whole class was about. And just sitting in the teacher's lounge, eating lunch, I can talk. A lot of teachers, I can hear them talking about different students and how they can improve, just overall, the mental health or how to improve just one student's life. And I just think that's so amazing that we're able to go from basically, in my experience, I felt like I had no help to teachers always reaching out a hand and saying, how can I help you specifically?
What's your favorite DaVinci tradition? This is from Mr. Roberts.
DaVinci tradition?
Yeah. For me, it's the wish box. And hands down.
Wishbox is up there, I will say. I think this one's probably the most memorable for me, even though I can't remember the name of it. The one Students' Day that we did a few months back for the student that...
for Adrian Maxon Day?
Adrian Maxon Day. Yeah, that one, but that's because
we've done that one since...
Yeah.
That predates me.
Yeah. Not only that, funny thing that we found while working in IT, the original slides for Adrian Maxon were on an old teacher account, and then they left DaVinci, and we had to move them around.
Do you know what
such.
teacher?
I I don't remember specifically.
That'd be interesting.
But it was funny because we had to go
It would be
through
Carolyn
and
Taylor.
dig
It would
for
be Carolyn Taylor's.
Yeah.
That's who it was. I'll guarantee it. It was Carolyn Taylor's.
Yeah,
Garth?
it did.
Oh, sorry. I cut you off.
I think my old-time favorite, just because I always had such a good laugh with it, was making post-drink eggnog on the assembly.
Oh my god. Okay. No, I will not give that secret away. I will give no secrets away though.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil
Mr.
it.
Post will be mad at me then. But yeah, Mr. Post hates eggnog.
Yeah, that was always a joy to watch. Obviously I don't like torturing people, but just seeing his general disgust towards it and like actually doing it and going through with it was just so funny to me.
I like eggnog, but he hates eggnog like I hate cauliflower. Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, the other thing was Adrian Maxon Day. I love doing that, and I actually do have a really fun story. So we went down to the Nature Center at one point for Adrian Maxon Day, and one of the people that worked there came over to our class and said, "Okay, we need 2 volunteers," and it was me and Cole. I don't remember his last name.
Okay, I have a face in my head.
But yeah, it was me and Cole, and they instructed us to go over to an area and just dig a hole. Because they were trying to find water, and we spent the entire day just having fun digging a hole. And
I know this story. You've told me this story.
Yeah. And we dug a hole so deep that it almost got to, I think, it was like chest height. And by the time they checked us, they're just like, "You guys dug really fast."
You were like 14 or something when you wasn't this like 8th, 9th grade when you did this?
This was around like 8th or 10th grade.
Because I remember you telling me about this hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so big that we could fit almost 4 people inside of it and just like be at chest height. So it was interesting.
Okay, this one is from Mrs. Roberts, and she wants to know who was your favorite teacher. Which, to put you on the spot, I mean it's Mrs. Roberts, but
Mine would have been Coverstone, but second place would definitely go to Croshaw.
oh man,
So
Croshaw.
was
I miss the Brosha. He's in Portugal, eating, I don't know, Portuguese food. I will know it later.
See, the issue is this is such a hard one for me because my first on top answer would always be Mr. Roberts.
Yeah.
But after that, I just don't know. There's so many good teachers. Like you're in like one like my probably top 3.
Like top 40?
Top
right
3.
There.
You're in one of my top 3. I think that Conlon would probably be in my top 3. I think Godji would also probably be in my top 3. So it's like it's really hard to pick of like and choose like who would deserve like a ranking on the slot of what teachers I think are best. But
It's Mrs. Roberts.
Mr. Roberts is my favorite.
I never had a class with Miss Roberts.
Oh man, my kid has Miss Roberts right now, and I love it. They're making sourdough starters, and they're naming them, and it's such a great way to learn. Mrs. Roberts, you're amazing. Jeremy, this question's for you. Do you feel left out right now?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Mrs. Goodman wanted to know that. All right, let's go to our next sauce. This sauce is interesting. It's called Zuzu 7-Pot sauce, and it has fennel and maple syrup in it. And I don't know how I feel about those two things in the same sauce, but it's also thick. Oh my.
What sauce number is this?
This is number 7.
Oh no.
It smells licoricey. If you don't like licorice, I'm sorry.
I love licorice, but
That does smell licorice.
It is so licoricey. This is my child's least favorite sauce that I have ever made them eat. And by made, I mean it's highly suggested to them until they decided to. Peer pressure. Okay, here we go. Cheers on what will probably be the weirdest tasting wing of your life. That was a very resigned sigh there, Kairos. That will catch up there. Our next questions are all about cosplaying. You guys brought your costumes. You want to show them off?
yeah, I'll go grab it real quick.
Jeremy's just like, Fine, dude.
Yep. No costume.
No costume? Missing out. All right. You said that you guys 3D printed these, right?
So, the entire costumes were 3D printed. 4 weeks of 3D printing. And then about 150 hours of us working here, going home, and then spending the whole night working on our costumes. Sanding, priming, painting. The sanding took way too long.
Don't touch your eyes.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were a process, and then we went through.
Kairos is going into another plane of existence right now.
That's the one that touches milk, he says.
Yep.
But there's a little bit of foam on the inside, Velcro attaching all the pieces. It just comes right on off everything. I'm not putting that back on.
Don't worry about
it. But we went to FanX with them, and we couldn't walk 10 feet without getting stopped in the hallway. Mm-hmm. That was a little bit painful because that was our first run, which was a terrible idea, especially with 3D prints. It's not too heavy on mine, but
yeah.
Walking around, his was in his hips. Mine, my shoulders were killing me because I have that backpack on it too.
Oh yeah.
But that was just a massive weight, and my shoulders were killing me at the end, and his legs were killing him, and his shoulders. Don't do a first run of cosplay.
No, there. What got you guys into cosplaying?
So I feel like it was kind of just. It was more or less him because he suggested the idea. Because he found the Galactic Army files on his sister's hard drive. But I always loved watching cosplay, and I always thought it'd be a really fun thing to do. So I was actually very thankful that he knew a lot more tips than I did when going into cosplay, and we were able to like coordinate and find a good plan on how to put it together and all that.
A lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mistakes. Like on my armor in specific, my thighs, like my thigh plates, if all you guys who've seen it at assembly, those were actually way too big for me. So every time I walked, they were digging into me and preventing me from actually being able to bend my legs.
You gotta do squats.
I had to basically like walk around like a tin can the entire time of con.
Oh man.
And when I was doing the assembly, I had to basically make a pair of overalls where I had to like take a piece of fabric and string it from one side all the way up to my shoulders and on the other side. So every time I walked, it was just a constant rub.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
So it sounds horrible. It's super cool though, like as you're going and like people walk up to you and like, oh, that's neat. Does that make it all worth it?
Yeah, way
definitely.
worth it.
One of the biggest ones that we saw, or one of the biggest reactions we had, was actually a little girl, probably like the age of like 7 or 9 years old. We were walking past at the con. She was at a table with her family, and she saw us, and without hesitation, she jumped up out of her seat, and she goes, "It's the Bad Bat!" And she ran. We were going down the escalator because we didn't quite hear her. She was running down the stairs.
That's so cool.
And her whole family got a picture with us, and it was so wholesome. And
yeah,
that is so cool.
Every like 10 to 30 minutes, you'd have a random kid going, "It's the Bad Batch." We were expecting a lot of kids to know it, but there were
That's
neat. I separated from the group at one point to go to the Star Wars booth where my sister and my brother-in-law work.
Yeah.
And as I was going over there, I walked past the KidCon area, and I got stuck there for like 15 minutes. Just kids coming up and getting pictures while I was just trying to walk by.
That's neat. Okay, so this brings up, have you done any cosplay? I don't know if you've done any cosplaying, Jeremy. I have not. I dressed up as Mrs. Davis one year, and one year I tried to be Dr. Manhattan and I painted myself blue, but everybody thought that I was someone from the Blue Man Group or a character from Arrested Development. It did not work very well. So you can join in on this question if you've wanted to be a cosplay guy but have not had the material. So if you had unlimited materials and time, because 150 hours is a lot of time, what would be the dream cosplay that you would want to do?
Want to start over there? If you have any...
The dream cosplay.
I guess one character I think would be kind of fun to do just to see like a full costume of it would be the Lich King from World of Warcraft. Especially if you get some of the, like,
that would be so
if you could
cool.
get some of the fog in there, like just have like fog machines all up and down the costume.
Dude, the sword.
The sword
The
would be
sword
really cool.
would be so neat.
You're gonna have to make that light.
I mean, it's 6 feet tall.
You're gonna have to make it out of foam, but
I'll
but
have to get stealth a little bit in the costume.
you would. Oh, that would be so cool, though.
Yeah.
That'd be a great costume.
okay. So unfortunately, I'm the most indecisive person on the planet, so I have 3.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I would love to do a Space Marine from Warhammer, an
be
actual life-size Space Marine. It would be so cool. The only thing is, extremely hard to do. You'd have basically no movement, but it would be amazing.
Also need stilts.
Yeah, you'd also need stilts. Technically, both the things that I'm going to mention here need stilts. A Halo 2 Elite.
Okay.
I would love to do either Artas Vadum
Okay.
or Thale Vadam. And if you
I don't know the difference between those two. So.
And those 2 elites, if you don't know, Thale Vadam is the Arbiter,
Okay.
and Artas Vadum is Half Jaw, the white elite
Okay.
with the missing jaw.
I've played like 3 hours of Halo my whole life, so.
And then lastly, it would be Spartan 3s from Halo Reach. I would like to make, if I had infinite materials, infinite time, I would like to make the whole armory of Halo Reach, and then make it so you can remove and add pieces.
That
to the
would be
armor set.
cool, like a modular
So you can
thing.
always customize it and change between it. It would be so nice.
That would be cool.
Mine would be Gabriel from Ultra Kill. I know you guys probably don't know Ultra Kill, but I know a lot of the students know Ultra Kill. But Gabriel, he's an archangel, and he has these wings that light up really bright.
Yeah.
But they hover behind him, and I already have an idea for this. There is this thing called quantum locking,
Yeah.
where you take a piece of lead and you freeze it in liquid nitrogen.
Yeah.
And then you can put it on top of a magnet and it'll float.
Yeah.
What if you do electromagnets in your back, and then have in a cooler
How cold do you have to get that? Because my understanding is like you have to get that like liquid nitrogen cold.
liquid nitrogen cold.
Okay.
But you put it in coolers on
Okay.
your back on the wings, and then
Okay.
see if you can have it float there, and then increase and decrease power to the electromagnet to have it flap up and
And
down.
it could go.
That'd be really cool.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of
yeah,
time and
way too
materials,
hard,
and
but
that would be cool.
yeah.
The power of superconductors. All right, our next sauce is Scorpion's Delight.
Just recover.
That's why we're going to the next one. So Scorpion's Delight is a peach-based barbecue sauce with scorpion peppers in there. Yeah, it's a thing I decided to make one day, and I apologize for what this might do.
I'm just worried about the after effects.
That's for later you. That is a problem for future you. Don't worry about it.
That is the world's tiniest drumstick.
That's why I grabbed it.
No, you want the bigger
I'm
ones.
saving the big one
You
for
want
the
the
end.
yeah, you want the big one for the end. I get greedy. I'm like, that one looks good, and then I have this little skinny, gross. Yeah, I see. You planned.
I did plan because I was just like, the more meat I have, since I'm trying not to touch that milk, I still haven't yet. You can go back and watch the footage, by the way.
As you
Or
harness
die.
your chi and like move into the ninth realm. Start seeing you're tasting colors,
There is probably a good
smell sounds.
There's probably a good chance on the last one I'm probably have to take a nice floor nap
Anyway, cheers.
Nah, I'd win.
to death.
All right, we're into the sci-fi questions. Sci-fi video games, I guess. All right, first one is iRobot realistic?
Haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it?
Okay.
You haven't seen it?
Since I was a kid.
God. All right, well that one was a dud. How about our next one here? All right, what video game do you think every kid should play?
We were forewarned about this one a little bit,
Okay.
and
This is from Mr. Erickson, by the way.
We were.
oh, he wasn't. We were when we were in the staff lounge.
Did you talk to Mr. Erickson today? Then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if every kid had to play a game, I would say I thought really hard I'm wrong about this one because there's so many different games I could say. Like I could say Satisfactory and Factorial as factory games, because if you go and play those and come out of it beating the game, you're going to be a smarter person with those ones, because those are very hard ones. But I think a game that everyone should play is Jermey.
Oh, that is a great answer. I love Jermey. If you have not played Jermey, it was on PlayStation 3. It has an amazing soundtrack. It's cellos. It's so good. I got to the end. I didn't know that you could play it on the line. I didn't know you were playing with actual humans.
Yeah.
And you were talking to them. I thought they were AIs, and I figured that out at the end. And I had been on this journey with this person for the entire time, and he got blown off a mountain. And I was so sad. I've never had an emotional response to a game like Jermey. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry to take your whole thing, but I love that game so much.
You kind of went over a lot of it. It's not an action-packed game.
No.
It's a very chill game.
It's so good.
My sister made me play it when I was stuck at her house when we were moving stuff around for her. But I just played through it, beat it in like 2.5 hours. Didn't know I was speedrunning through it. She was like, "You're done with it already?"
It took me about 3, but
yeah.
oh, it's so good.
Really good game. Love the art. That kind of... Yeah, it's really wonderful.
It's one of those things that feels like it's more than a video game.
Yeah.
It's such a cool experience.
So, sorry, my brain's getting a little fuzzy. Can't think straight.
Drink the milk.
Drink the milk.
Drink the milk.
I'm
Heresy.
surprised that one didn't hit me hard.
That one actually didn't hit me too bad. It's still the aspects of the other one.
Okay.
So, a game that I think everybody should play. I am a person that fully believes that you can play any game that you like, but I personally put fun above like most things when it comes to gaming. And I always feel like a personal game, whether you are a hardcore gamer or a person who has never touched video games in your life, a game that you should try and play if you haven't or haven't seen a playthrough of is Undertale. I love Undertale. I love the songs. I love the way that you can interact with the characters. It's just such an interesting and neat experience because you can go different routes. Like you can go pure
The
genocide.
pacifist route is so cool.
Yeah, you can go pure pacifist route. You can go pure genocide. You can do a mixture. The story is just amazing to me. And if I was being really biased here, Halo 2. But I know that that game is of my generation, not particularly everybody else's like nowadays. So my biased opinion is Halo 2.
Cool.
I don't know about everybody, but like the game I'm trying to get my kids to play because of nostalgia reasons is Kingdom Hearts.
Ah.
And I've already started that game with them like half a dozen times at least. And they get it.
How old are your kids?
So James just turned 9, and then Sammy's 5.
Ooh.
And then
That's a lot of reading for a 5-year-old.
yeah, so Sammy just clicks the button, just click all the way through it, which is what I do too. So it works out great. James will sit down and actually like read through it.
Yeah.
He'll actually try to do different voices for the characters too.
Ocarina of Time. When you talk to the bird.
Oh man.
And if you keep pressing the button like I did, he keeps looping and looping and looping.
Yep. That's a game that maybe Ocarina of Time. I think I might say Portal. Now, I don't think it's the best game, but I think it's a game that anybody can enjoy.
Yeah.
There's puzzles in it. There's humor in it. It is just a special game.
When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Burn
Portal
their
1
house
or
down.
2 is fine. I like Portal 1 a little bit more just because I didn't know what to expect. I went and bought, it was called the Orange Box. And it was $20. And it had Half-Life 2, all of the Half-Life 2 DLCs, Team Fortress 2, the original Half-Life, all of its extra stuff. Other things I can't remember. And then Portal was this thing I didn't even realize. I played through all their stuff. I was like, what's this Portal thing? Put it in. I was like, this is amazing. And I didn't expect it. Everybody should play Portal. Great game.
One more thing. Detroit Become Human. That is another great one that I would recommend if you really like story. But also, I was also going to ask, on the topic of Detroit Become Human, is iRobot kind of similar to Detroit Become Human?
iRobot is, imagine Elon Musk's fake robots that he showed off a few weeks ago, except they meet Will Smith and jump around. a lot.
I have seen
that movie.
Okay, now I do know.
That movie. It's based off some Asimov stuff.
I thought you were talking about the police robot one, but I don't watch films.
I mean, there's police in there and stuff
Yeah.
too. Anyway, somebody asked that one. I'm sorry that question fell. Okay, this one's real quick. Very little explanation. What's the most overrated movie, in your opinion?
Overrated?
Overrated.
Someone that's rated
Robert
high.
Pattinson Batman.
Wow. Okay.
I tried sitting through it so many times.
Man,
and
I
I'm just
actually
like,
even like. Wow.
that's just my
Wow.
opinion.
That's cool because I wouldn't have thought that way. Cool. That's a good answer.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this probably. I did not personally like Avatar: Way of Water too much.
That's a good answer.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I really liked it to a
No,
point.
you can dislike it.
but
It's
at
fine.
this- but-
Just like
Well,
thinks
here's
it's
the
okay.
thing. Like I said, I'm a very conflicting person because I always have like this mental thing of like the movie and graphics really good. I liked the animation. I liked the way that it was. I just didn't really. The story was lackluster to me. Like the direction they took it was lackluster.
I don't know. I'd say maybe Marvel Endgame Part 2, but that's because I'm a big fan of Thor before that, and then it kind of...
It's a good answer.
I'm going to say Fat Thor kind of ruined my favorite Thor, so... But that's not even that big of a one, so...
I'm gonna say either Jurassic World
Oh, yeah.
or, and you're gonna murder me for this one, Revenge of the Sith. Which I don't think is a bad movie, but
I'm
I
a
think it is an
Clone Wars person.
overrated movie.
Clone Wars.
I think I can get behind that one.
Yeah. It's one of those movies I want to like more than I do, and I'll get nostalgia for it, and I'll watch it, and I'll go, oh yeah, the acting is so bad. Oh my gosh, I forgot how bad the acting was in this movie.
Which one was that?
No!
I don't know them by names.
That
I'm terrible with names.
It's the Anakin kills all of the Padawans movie.
Oh.
It's that one. It's the best of the prequels, but
I feel like the moment when he goes to the dark side it gets so much better if you watch the Clone Wars, because the Clone Wars goes over all the characters
That's
that are
true.
dying. It goes over like all the side effects.
You really care.
Yeah,
at that point.
Ahsoka's point in the Clone Wars when that happens is amazing.
Yeah, and maybe that's why I go, yeah, and then I watch it and it legitimately, I cringe the whole time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next sauce. This is Uncle Joe's Afterlife. My brother-in-law Joe, a recently retired, well, I guess a few years retired Marine, has a little tiki lounge in his basement that he calls the Afterlife Lounge. And I tried to make a Carolina-based barbecue sauce that has Carolina Reapers in it. So this is very good. He lives in Carolina, so North Carolina. So this is about half Carolina Reapers. And if you like mustard,
I like mustard on ham.
I do not have any ham for you.
I don't know. Maybe these are just like a special kind of ham, you know?
This is chicken ham.
No, what are you talking about? Ham tastes like chicken.
Everything
Tastes like
Ham chicken. Very special type of ham. Made from birds. Cheers. 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 This one's hard for me.
I got it on my lip.
That's a bad move.
Rookie mistake.
I have it on my lips. It's just a mistake.
Screw issue. All right.
There we go. We got hiccups. You know what cures hiccups? Milk.
I'm gonna try to hold it for you guys.
All right.
The more pain, the better, right?
Right,
I
right.
don't even think the milk's doing anything.
Okay. If you were given $1 million to invest in the school, what would you spend it on?
I thought you were about to say cryptocurrency. I was like, nope.
What cryptocurrency would you invest in? None of it. I don't know. Maybe one of them. Dogecoin. Let's go with that one. But no. You have $1 million to invest in the school. What would you?
I would
Put
try
it.
to buy that property in between the elementary and the distance.
Good answer.
just so that construction just goes to a stop, we get our parking lot back.
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
That one's a pretty good one. Oh, you're going to give me a second. Oh, get back to me.
Bentley.
Drink the milk.
Either that or the church's parking spot right in front of the high school. Because it's just open space.
It's just there. We could use it.
Yeah. I think that'd be like a great place to put or just do something with. But if it wasn't for like buying property, because that's what you probably do with $1 million. Sorry.
You can do a Kairos.
Way on the
You can
cheaper.
drink the milk.
Yeah, way on the cheaper. I would do something simpler. I would. And now I can't think straight. 3D printers and laser engravers.
Really?
I
Why
think
the
those would
laser
be cool.
engravers?
Laser engraved digital art.
Oh, that would be
That'd be
very
really
cool. Man, I hadn't even thought about that one.
Because once you get the laser engraver, as long as you have a good setup with
Yeah.
it, it's very cheap to do it on metal.
Yeah.
Even though if you go to a con, they're like $50, $60.
Yeah.
It's
start
really
making
cheap.
money
It's
on
like
it. Ooh.
$5 for like a plate of metal. So
Plus, if you need a work plaques, you can make them all day.
That's true. Making a 3D printed plaque takes a while.
All right.
All right.
To invest or to spend $1 million on a school, I think these guys have like right on the money. Additional parking spaces for the schools, because I personally cannot park my big frickin' truck. I have a Ford F-150 that's raised. I cannot get it. I cannot get it.
I think that might just be a choice matter right there.
I bought it way before I attended the school, and there is nowhere for me to park, so I have to park it actually across the street where I live. I live in that apartment. Should have said that. But so additional parking spots. I think the 3D printers is a great idea, and the laser engravers. That would give our school so much possibility for growth. But I also just feel like a lot of our school supplies are lacking. I feel like we could use a lot better equipment for students, and maybe improve like our security systems, because I'm a really big advocate for school security, and I think even having just one school security guard would greatly help. Granted, we don't necessarily need it. We haven't really had instances where we actually needed it, but if we actually did need somebody to, like, say, look over the security cameras if that was their job, or if they need to like patrol the school, I just think it would help us out a lot, because in my personal opinion, Ogden is not the best neighborhood.
Oh, it can get sketchy. It's better than it used to be. Like, it was really scary when I was a kid. 1,000 years ago. I think when I think about that question, I think I would give free breakfast and lunch to every kid.
that is, yeah.
That'd go for a long time.
It'd go for a long time, and you wouldn't have, like, when a kid can't have food because they don't have money in their account, breaks my heart. And every teacher that I know has food in their desk, just because sometimes kids forget their lunch, and I don't want any kid to have to go through that. You guys are here to learn. You don't need to be hungry.
Touching upon that point really quick, not to say that lunch ladies have bad food. I always love their food, and I do not want them dragging me out of the IT room on a rope.
Vanessa will get you.
Yeah, she will. And I can even testify this, because I eat school lunch basically every single day. I love the food. I'm just saying, if we had better quality materials, it would greatly improve.
It would be
the quality
really,
of food.
really nice for
And-
the lunch people to have facilities that were designed for 500 people.
Yeah, because not only would it
So
be
that kitchen trying to produce that much food.
exactly,
Can't
'cause
imagine how they do it.
especially if it was because not only if it was free, like breakfast and lunch, but just imagine if it was free but also like really high quality, good tasting food.
It's hard to do. Speaking of high quality, we are at the final sauce. This is the last stab experience with 91% pepper X, which is now the world's hottest pepper, clocking in at some stupid number, like 2.7 million Scoville. At that point, it doesn't matter. It just tastes like burning.
What's the hottest sauce you've ever had on the show?
From a purely numbers perspective, this one. From a made me want to cry the most, probably the last version of this one, because this one tastes better. The other one tasted like battery acid, and every time I had to eat it, I was just like, I don't want this in my face. It's not even that it's so bad, it's just it tastes bad and is painful. This one is not as gross.
Alright, before we get started, I'm going to be doing the YouTube tradition of the 5-minute burn time and try not to touch the milk. That's my entire point of this. I want to get to the very end and do a 5-minute burn challenge. So, let's see if I can make it.
Okay.
Hope you enjoy my reaction.
Here we go. Cheers. Good luck to y'all.
All right.
Why did I put so much on this? When the Erickson episode comes out, his reaction to the sauce is going to go down in legend. So, shout out to Mr. Erickson. When you guys are doing that, I'm going to walk over here and get prepared for our next question.
All right. I have finished my wing. Timer starting. If I don't mess it up. Now.
What are you talking about?
Are we doing a Dr. Pepper chug?
So, our last question comes from Mrs. Goodman. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. I don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. But she wants to know who can chug a Dr. Pepper the fastest. I'm sorry that you're 5 minutes. It's not milk.
It's not milk, but I'm just going to say this will probably send me that trash can.
Yeah, there's a trash can over there. We're going to see what happens. I don't know how good of an idea this is.
This is a horrible idea.
This is an atrocious idea.
Hot stuff and carbonation does not mix.
Didn't think this... I was like, oh, this will be real funny doing this at the 10th wing. This will be a good time.
No, not yet.
I'm not totally stalling for time right now.
Okay, stand up for this.
We all going at once?
I think that's how we figure out who's the fastest here. Okay. Are we prepared?
Yep.
Dr. Pepper. Stupidly hot wing. Drink the milk challenge. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, chug. Crap, Bentley's gonna be.
He's a gamer through and through. He's gonna get it.
Well, that was altogether unpleasant. Jeremy is the smart one.
I'm just glad I beat him.
I don't need to be first.
If we have learned anything from the last 1 minute of our lives, it is that Jeremy is the smart one here. Also, milk does not go well with Dr. Pepper. All right. That was less of a question and more of a challenge. But you made it. You got to the end. You survived. Mostly. No one has thrown up yet. I'm a little surprised. So,
I just want to thank all of my years of practicing chugging milk in high school. I would chug my milk cartons.
all right. We got that camera. We got that camera. We got that camera. What do you want the people of DaVinci to know? Anybody? Don't do this. Kairos, I think you have some words of wisdom for us.
Drink the milk.
Drink the milk.
Don't drink the milk.
Bentley, what do you want us to know?
Your student emails aren't private.
We can see them on Go Guardian too.
We have a thing called catch-all that catches all email addresses, and it'll go through if you're swearing. Your chats are hilarious.
They are. You guys caught one of my. I tried to send a song lyric stuff for Teacher Bound for the for music, and our assistants stopped it because apparently it was. I don't know. I don't even know what it got, but apparently it didn't like one of the things. Jeremy, what do you want people to know?
I got nothing. Let me think about it.
All right. Mental health has been such a big part of my life, and I implore you, if you feel like you need help, reach out. Do not do what I did and be that angsty teenager who thinks they can just be the man and bulk through it like this. If you need help, ask for help. Find a way. My parents were the biggest, I hate to say it, but they were not a big help to me because every time I said I needed help, I needed therapy, they pushed it under the rug and they said do not because they thought that UPS was going to come and take me away, which they probably wouldn't have because the situation was not that severe, but my parents are extremists. And that is my timer. I am chugging my milk.
Well, there you have it, DaVinci. Chug your milk.
The Dr. Pepper did not
You
help.
need
either,
help.
by the
And
way.
the Dr. Pepper will not help. It's been good having you guys on. The milk is gone. Here you go. Congratulations. Stay Vinci, DaVinci. Stay DaVinci, DaVinci. Stay spicy, DaVinci. That's what it is.
I would love half of that tote of ice cream now.